Alright, hold on to your hats, because we're diving into Tenet. Christopher Nolan's time travel masterpiece that's so complex, it feels like you need a PhD just to understand the opening credits. Seriously, the plot is like if you took a Rubik's Cube, set it on fire, and then threw it into a black hole. What you're left with is Tenet, a movie where time travel reverses, people shoot guns backwards, and nothing makes sense unless you've watched the movie 4 times. The protagonist, a guy who can't even tell you his own name, but he'll save the world anyway. So we've got our main guy who doesn't even have a name. We'll call him the protagonist because, of course, that's all we need to know. This dude is already fighting time travel, backward bullets, and random explosions, all while being stone-faced about it. Can you believe that? Like, every time someone asks him a question, he looks like he's about to give the most profound answer in the history of humanity. But instead, it's just like, I'm here to save the world, deal with it. And let's talk about the fact that this guy literally does not care about what's happening around him. There's a point where he's literally sailing on a boat, and he doesn't even flinch when a giant explosion happens. He just looks around like, yeah, this is just another Tuesday. The time travel. Let's make it even more confusing with inverted entanglements. Then we have the time travel mechanics. In Tenet, time isn't just some linear thing you can watch go from past to present. It's a tangled mess of forward and reverse movements. You've got people fighting in reverse while others are running forward. And don't even get me started on how you can't even remember half the things that happen because they literally haven't happened yet. Like, can you imagine trying to explain this to your grandma? Well, grandma, at one point I was fighting backwards in time, but that was after we saved the world from World War III, but don't worry, it hasn't happened yet. Or has it? Satan, the villain who literally trades time for power like he's shopping at a discount store. So here's where it gets really wild. Enter Andre Seda, the villain of the story, who's got this time-traveling evil plot to destroy the world, but only if it benefits him in some twisted way. You ever meet someone so dysfunctional that they go, you know what I'll do today, and then proceed to reverse time and destroy everything just because they want to win in some bizarre, rich guy way? Yeah, that's Sater. And what's his grand plan? To rearrange the entire timeline to make sure he's always on top. Can you believe this guy? His goal is to have all the power while completely ignoring the fact that he's literally undoing everything that's good in the world. The protagonist's sidekick, Neil. A guy who knows the future, but pretends he doesn't. Now, there's this guy named Neil, who's supposed to be our protagonist's sidekick. He's like the perfect wingman, but also not, because he knows way more than he lets on. Basically, Neil's the guy who comes to the party with all the answers, but doesn't say anything until it's absolutely too late. It's like having that friend who's always, yeah, I knew that would happen right after you spill coffee on yourself. And let's be real, Neil might know the future, but he sure does keep it a secret. It's like he's playing hide and seek with the audience, intentionally making us wonder what the heck is going on, but at the same time, he's the only one with the answer. That's some serious sidekick game right there, not even telling your best friend they're about to get caught by a bullet that was fired 3 hours ago. Nice move, Neil. The inverted fight scenes. Can someone please explain this like I'm 5? Let's talk about the fights, because this is where Tenet goes from confusing to absolute mind-fry territory. You've got these crazy action scenes where people are literally fighting in reverse. So, imagine you're watching someone punch someone else, but instead of them getting hit, the punch-on happens in reverse and you're like, what am I even looking at right now? It's like someone is rewinding a VHS tape, but the whole time, explosions are going off. Can you believe that's a thing in this movie? Nolan really said, you know what's better than a regular fight scene? A fight scene where no one's actually getting hit until later. Pure genius. The secret word time. Temporal. And here's where it gets real spicy. Temporal. That's right. Time itself gets all twisted up in this film. You think you understand it, and then boom. Your mind's exploded, and you're left wondering if you actually just watched the past or the future. Honestly, by the end of this movie, you'll need to watch it backwards just to catch the plot twists. The secret word time. Entropy. Entropy. This word's just here to make you feel like you're way smarter than you actually are. Basically, it means chaos or disorder, and trust me, you're going to need to remember this word if you're ever trying to make sense of this movie. It's the science-why part of Tenet that makes you feel like you need a degree in physics just to understand why people are fighting in reverse and running away from impossible explosions. Just remember, It's all chaos until you've seen it 3 times. The secret word time: inversion. Finally, here's inversion, which is basically the term for reversing time. And guess what? Everything in this movie gets inverted. It's the one thing that makes you question everything you know about life. Like, can we reverse all the bad decisions I made during my teenage years? Probably not, but at least in the world of Tenet, you can reverse a bullet that's been shot at you. I need that power. The bottom line: Tenet is the movie you're going to watch, not understand at first, but still want to talk about. You're going to leave the theater thinking, did I just watch the future or the past? Did I even understand anything that happened? And you're not alone. This movie's like an expensive dinner. You'll leave the restaurant questioning your choices, but you're glad you made them.